What's a moment you realized you were the villain in someone else's story? It happened about 2 years ago, though I still think about it often. The slow drip of silence had already begun before the night I realized everything had shifted. Calls that used to be answered on the first ring started going to voicemail. Texts that once sparked long threads of jokes and inside references were left unread. Little by little, the people I thought were my friends faded away. The breaking point was a party. I hadn't been invited, but I knew it was happening. Everyone I grew up with was going to be there. I told myself maybe it was a mistake, maybe the invite didn't reach me, so I went. The second I walked in, the air went still. Conversations that had been loud and easy moments before slowed to murmurs. My oldest friend Brandon came up to me. His face was hard, no trace of the warmth I had known since we were kids fishing in the creek behind his house. He didn't yell, but his voice carried enough to make the room tense. "You need to leave, now." There wasn't a fight, not even a chance to defend myself, just a wall of eyes following me to the door. Within days, my name disappeared from every group chat, Facebook, Instagram, gone. It was like someone had pulled a switch, and the people I'd grown up alongside decided I was done. I was raised in a small town in rural Texas, where the choices for work were slim. Minimum wage at the diner, prison guard at the unit up the road, enlist in the army, or break your back in construction. I picked the army, served my time, got out, and stumbled into pest control. A mom-and-pop operation gave me a chance, and I stuck with it. Turns out I was good at it. Good enough that the commissions and steady clients added up. I averaged about 75 grand a year before taxes. In my hometown, that made me an outlier. Most guys my age were scraping by on half that. I never thought of myself as rich. I still don't. My bills were on auto pay, my car was used, and my vacations were just road trips to nearby cities. But compared to people who'd never caught a break, I might as well have been flaunting a lottery win. The thing that flipped everything started small. My best friend at the time, Marcus, couldn't pay his phone bill 1 month. He told me he was going to get cut off. I'd known him nearly 20 years. We grew up in each other's houses, shared meals, shared secrets. So I told him not to worry about it. I paid his bill, $60 and change, no strings attached. All I asked, half joking, was that the next time I came by, he fix me a plate. Just something simple, whatever he was cooking. Marcus laughed, nodded. That was it, I thought. Friends looking out for each other. But the whispers started. At first I ignored them. Then they grew louder, harder to deny. A rumor that I was throwing money around to make myself feel superior. Another that I was running some long game, buying loyalty with the expectation of free handouts. People twisted the fact that I'd asked for a plate of sausage and greens into proof that I was exploiting Marcus. Paying a $60 phone bill had turned me into a villain in their eyes. Brandon stopped calling. Marcus avoided me altogether. People I'd known since elementary school ducked away in grocery aisles. And when they weren't avoiding me, they were talking. Spreading the story of how I was waving around my wealth to rub in their faces what they didn't have. The hardest blow came last week. I walked into Walmart and saw one of my oldest friends, Danielle, working a register. We'd once spent entire summers riding bikes until dark, sitting on curbs eating popsicles from the corner store. I smiled, relieved to see a familiar face, and picked her line on purpose. She looked right through me. No flicker of recognition, no hello, just cold efficiency. She slammed items onto the belt harder than needed, muttering under her breath. When she scanned a bag of coffee, she said, "Oh wow, must be nice to afford that." Then again, with the cheese, the fruit, little digs like stabs. I stood there silent, letting her bag everything with unnecessary roughness. When she handed me the receipt, she never looked up. Walking out of the store, I realized that somewhere along the way, the people I thought of as family had decided I wasn't one of them anymore. To them, I was the guy with devil horns. The one who thought he was better than everyone else. The one they whispered about at parties and laughed at when I wasn't around. All because I paid a phone bill and asked for a plate of reheated sausage and canned collard greens.